Good morning. Happy Monday. It is it's time. We got work to do. We got, let's see, eBay, Poshmark, and Amazon orders going out the door from the weekend. I'm going to show you everything that sold from the last 48 hours. So the last time I shipped was Saturday around this time. I actually did it live with y'all. Some of y'all joined for that Saturday bonus live. But so everything since Saturday, the last 48 hours of sales, we're going to ship out eBay, Poshmark, Amazon. No Mercari today. No Mercari, but no surprise there. That's the way Mercari's been lately. A solid weekend of sales. It was really slow actually yesterday. And then last night I got like a bunch of sales right before bedtime and woke up to a couple more sales and then had a couple more roll in this morning. Actually, I went live on TikTok and had a couple sales roll in while I was out there pulling orders on TikTok. So Monday is off to a pretty good start. I think I already have 5 sales today on Monday, which is great. So welcome in everybody. Hope you're having a good start to your week. Hope you had a great weekend. Say hello down below in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. But first, you're the boss for just a moment. If somebody can let me know, what are we going to ship first? eBay, Poshmark, or Amazon? Just type one of those 3 things down below, and that's what we'll ship first. But we're going to ship everything, and we're going to do it live. I'm going to tell you exactly how much I paid for these items, how much they sold for, about how long they took to sell, and I'll answer all the questions you have along the way. But you let me know. You're the boss for just a moment. Someone is going to type eBay, Poshmark, or Amazon down below. You can boss me around for just a minute. Hope everyone is off to a great start to the week. A little coffee to get us rolling. Kate says, eBay. What's up, Kate? How are you? Welcome in. Say hello down below in the chat if you haven't said hello. I'd love to hear from you. Love to hear about your weekend. If you want to talk about it, I'd love to hear about your sales, of course, too. And if you found some cool stuff, I'm for it. Sophia came in just a little bit late with that Poshmark vote. So we'll do Poshmark right after we do eBay. How about that? I'm glad that you're able to catch me, Sophia. Welcome in. Hello, everybody. For some reason, these lives just never get old. I do them every week, and I've been doing them for years. But they never get old. It's fun hearing from y'all and fun just kind of being able to share my little world with y'all. How you have? I don't know what's going on, Kate. I see. I saw how you have been picking up certain Columbias. I found a flannel with beautiful colors sold in 4 days. Nice. Looking beyond the brand, Kate. I don't pick up everything from Columbia, but I am selective about that brand and sell it a bit. You got to remember, Columbia is a really, like, if you look at brands, like Columbia sells like crazy. It's just that there's so much supply out there. So if you can find the right Columbia, you can price it right, you can have really good listings with good photos and good keywords, you can sell Columbia. I know a lot of people don't like to. You're not going to get rich off Columbia, but you can pay the bills. Robbie's in the house. What's up, Robbie? With the all caps. Hey-o, I like it. Great to see you on this lovely day. How's it hanging? None of your business, Robbie. But I'm doing good. How are you, man? Warded from Casa Grande. What is up? What do we got? Howdy. Blessing Robert is over on Instagram. Welcome. Remember, all these lives are available as a replay. As soon as this live is over, you can rewatch it on YouTube and Facebook. So if you're busy, you're jumping in and out, you got things going on, you're wrangling the kids, you're working, whatever, you can watch the replay as soon as this is over. And if you're watching on the replay, welcome too. I'll get back to all your questions and comments down below. And if you're watching replay, let us know, right? Ship SHIP down below in the chat so that I know that you're watching on replay too. Love to hear from you, whether it's live or on the replay. This weekend was fire. I love to hear that. That's great. Robbie I got Robbie to laugh, so that's a win already. We got Robbie laughing. That's a W. If you haven't hit that like button, help me out. Hit the like button. That way we get shared with more folks. More folks join the conversation. I think that's more fun. Sales are slow, but it's my fault for not listing. I'm back at it, so hopefully sales will pick up. Sorry to hear that sales are slow, Sophia, but I like it that you're just putting that on your back and you're saying that's on me. I like it. Sherry says live on Instagram. That's right. You're live. We are live. Hope you're well, Sherry. Thanks for popping in. Do you adjust prices across the different platforms based on selling fees? I don't. I just use the same price across all 3 platforms. I know some people do it differently. Nothing wrong with changing those prices. I just don't do it. It's like an extra step, you know. Found, I think, a big bolo brand, RAF Simmons, this weekend. Still researching about it. Nice, Kate. Let us know what you find. That's awesome. Good for you. Thanks for sharing that with us. So we got a vote to start with eBay. So we'll start with eBay. We got shipping to do. But I love your questions. Keep the questions coming. Keep letting me know what's going on with your business. I like to hear about that. Our first sale in order is Joseph Bank. So this came in Saturday afternoon. And this is, you can see, 100% silk on this one, size 2 extra large. It's like one of those like mock neck, like mock turtleneck pieces. And this sold for full asking price, $24.99. I paid $5 for it at the thrift store. I do well with Joseph A. Banks sweaters as long as they're silk, wool, or cashmere. I don't touch the cotton ones. They don't move. I actually found some cable knit cotton ones this past week. Cable knit Joseph A. Banks. Like cable knit's hot right now. So I was like, these certainly have got to be a good pickup. And they weren't. The cable knits, like they're just not selling. So if it's cotton, even a cable knit, which is super hot right now, is cable knit quarter zips. I still couldn't pick them up because they aren't moving on eBay. But silk, wool, cashmere, Joseph A. Banks, I picked them up. I list them usually around $25 and they sell. So nice piece there. I'm going to tell you how long that took to sell too. I picked that up July the 3rd in the middle of, right in the middle of the summertime, and it sold on November the 1st. So it took 4 months to sell, but you got to know that when you're buying sweaters in the summertime in July that they're probably going to sell in October or now November. Happy November, y'all. November the 3rd. RAF Simons. I can't type today. That's all right. You're doing great. I'm proud of you. As I turned you on, I got an $8 offer for men's Cinch jeans. There you go. People are crazy. They got to shoot their shot though, right? They got to shoot their shot. Mandy says, hi from across the mountains. Slow last week. Spent 10 hours taking pics and listings yesterday. Nice. That'll help you get a good week this week, Mandy. Hope you're doing well on that side of the mountain. I hope you had a beautiful weekend, by the way. We had a great weekend. We had some rain, like 3 days of rain last week. We needed the rain though. We had like drought conditions. But then this weekend was beautiful. It warmed up a little bit. The sun was out both days. Kim and I got outside. We did a walk yesterday and we did a hike on Saturday. And it was just like classic fall Western North Carolina days. So hope the sun's shining where you're at too, either literally or figuratively. So let's ship this one out. I'm going to use one of these I think most of what I have here is all going to go in poly bags today. I'm going to go ahead and link right now before I forget. Someone's going to ask me where I get my poly bags or whatever. So I'm going to drop my full list of recommended reseller supplies right there in the chat for you, so that if you need something, you're not sure where to buy it from or what the best deal is, all my recommended stuff is right there in that document. And I described to you in the document exactly what I use all that stuff for. I do have 3 different size poly bags that I use. This is the smallest one that I'll put this little, it's really like a lightweight silk sweater right here. So it fits in these small ones. Finally, some sun. Yeah, for sure. Hey, Karen, welcome in. Good to have you. First time, welcome in. Say hi, Karen, in the chat if you feel like it. Welcome, Karen, for her first time joining the live stream. Karen, if you have a good time, if you crack half a smile, you can come back next Monday. We do this every Monday around 11 a.m.-ish Eastern time and talk about the weekend sales and just give you a good, honest glimpse into the business. So welcome in. If you have any questions, let us know. And say hello to Karen, her first time joining. Are you on Depop? Is it worth it? I've gotten so many offers. None have actually purchased. I love eBay and Poshmark, just trying to cross-list all nifty platforms. Yeah, so I don't sell on Depop. I quit Depop like 2.5 years ago in the summertime of 2023. Part of the reason I quit Depop is for the reason that you just shared on the screen, right? It's just all these people just making offers and nobody actually pays for it. It's like 1 out of every 10 offers you accept, somebody actually pays for. It's just kind of an annoying platform. I do think it's relevant. There are people who do sales on it. For me, I was starting to sell on Amazon. I also have my own website where I sell coffee and merch. So for me, it was just like too many platforms. I used to sell on Grailed. I used to sell on Depop. I used to sell on Facebook Marketplace. And I just dropped all those. And I'll probably drop Mercari at some point. It's just so slow. Doesn't mean that you should drop Depop or you should drop Mercari. But for me, it's just like having too many, there's just so many things I got to log into every single day. To limit some of that is great. I'm also putting out content every single day on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. There's just a lot of things to open up and look at. So for me, not having one other thing that I have to open up and look at every single day, especially because Depop's going to have like all those annoying offers. Good morning, Darlene. Welcome in. Funny too about Depop. I had somebody reach out to me on Instagram, somebody who works for Depop, like somebody on their like influencer team or something. And she was asking me, she wanted me to join Depop and sell on Depop. And I said, well, I've already sold on Depop before and I'm good. She's like, well, what would it take for you to come back? I was like, for me to come back, y'all got to fix that offers thing. That offer thing, and like, it's such a waste of time. I'm trying to run a business here. I'm not trying to have fun, just like going back and forth with people who are never actually going to buy anything. I'm like, this is a business. It's not like a hangout. And she said that, and this is like almost quote, I could go back and look at the message. It's basically quote unquote. She said the offers that are non-binding, she says, is an important part of Depop culture. And I said, well, I don't want to be a part of a culture that's just fun and hanging out and not business. I'm running a business. So as soon as you guys change that offers thing and make it binding, I will come back and sell on Depop. You have my word, but I'm not coming back until you fix that offers thing. And it was a cordial conversation. She appreciated it, but she's like, we were looking into it and we're always looking to make changes, or she said like the company line stuff. But I was like, I'm not coming back until you fix that stuff. I can't handle it. Doesn't mean you should drop Depop. It wasn't a good fit for me. You store suits in poly bags and no one has complained about wrinkles when they get their order. Yes. I've never had somebody complain about wrinkles when they get their suit. Not even one single time. Good morning, Ben. How are you? Welcome in. Sophia with the wave. Good morning from Ocala, Florida. Welcome in. Wealth. I know Ocala. Used to live in Newport Richey, if you care. When you use a poly bag to store suits, buyers don't complain about wrinkles. Nope. Welcome to Karen from Piece of Scrap. Hi, Piece of Scrap. How are you? It's such a fun. It feels like you're breaking the rules when you say your name a little bit. Piece of Scrap. It's just kind of funny. I like it. You're gonna need to see what works. I'll give it 90 days. Yeah, I think anything that you try, I think you should let breathe for 90 days, 100%. So I like your thoughts on that. Nick says he sells on Depop and do well, but it takes some patience. I sell between 8 to 10% of my sales. That's pretty good. When I used to sell on Depop, it was more like 4 or 5% when I left. So 8 to 10 is solid. My Mercari sales don't show up in my Nifty analytics page until quite a few days after the sale. All other platforms show up immediately. Any thoughts? No clue, Ben. I would just reach out I would hit that like support button in the Nifty thing, and I would just ask the question to them. Maybe they'll have some insight on it. I just don't know. I don't really look at the analytics on Nifty. I use a spreadsheet made by Jason Hayes for all my analytics. So I don't look at it very often or ever really. So I can't really give some insight there. You're definitely doing something right, but if you could double your interest without spending extra time or money, DM me if you want. Oh my gosh. All right, we'll get rid of that. See you later. People coming on here and just trying to scam people. Not on my watch. Get out of here. Blocked. Great perspective on Depop. I currently list over there, but we really evaluate at the end of the year. Again, just because I do it doesn't mean that. Just because I stop Depop doesn't mean you should. Nick Smith's on there, so 8 to 10% of his sales are on Depop. So Nick Smith is a smart cookie. If he's doing well on there, you can do well too. I got a big LOL at your post about the hoodie versus a jacket. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Darlene. I have fun with those. I'm glad that you enjoy the comedy ones too. What do we got? How do you talk about your coffee business? How did you start it? Who roasted? Hey, Junkersfield. Yeah, we can talk a little bit about coffee. I also spent all Sunday listing, but I schedule throughout the week. Got over 50 listings done. Nice work. Sorry for stepping out of context. Is there a way to batch cross list on Nifty? I don't think so. If I'm understanding your question right, no, I don't. There's no way to batch. You got to review each listing to make sure it's right. I'm so embarrassed to say I've not had a sale in a month. I did close my site so I could deal with a family issue, but I've been listing daily since I opened up again. I just intend to learn better. Nice. Sorry to hear about family challenges that shut down your store, but it sounds like you're back at it. So sending you positive vibes, Peggy, as you get up and rolling. Hopefully sales start rolling in again. I'm new to Poshmark, a lot following and sharing, but sales nothing. Wealth, do you have a bot that's doing like sharing and delisting and all that and sending offers for you on Poshmark? Do you have a bot? Answer that question, and that might help me. You need some more coffee in Lutz. Nice. I know right where you are in Lutz. There's actually there's a coffee shop that I really like that's in. I think it's not Lutz. It's probably more Wesley Chapel officially. I'm trying to remember the name of the coffee shop. Really nice couple that owns the coffee shop. I'll have to remember the name of it. But anyway, I know Lutz. My parents live in, you might already know this. My parents live in Land O'Lakes, which is just north of Lutz, like the next town up. You already know that though. How did she get in here? Thanks. Yeah, exactly. People are crazy. What's up? Frenchie is in the house. What's up, brother? Made the Vendu mistake, headed to Nifty, but they did refund me. Nice. Okay, that's cool. Welcome to Nifty. I think you're making a smart move there. Can you start reselling with just $5? How do you feed your family or yourself if you have no other income and starting eBay for the first time? Fast and Coffee, are you asking for somebody? Are you asking for somebody else, or are you at? You like you have more than $5? I thought you were already up and rolling with your business. Am I wrong? I thought you were like cranking over there. Um, but are you asking for somebody else? But yes, you could start with $5. You just start by selling stuff that's out of your house already. Wow, I got some offers going on. I got an $8 offer on an LL Bean shirt here. So we're not going to accept that. Asking for someone else. I mean, yeah, you could start with $5. I would start, open a free Poshmark account, get all your free shipping supplies from Poshmark. Like, you get all that stuff for free, and then just start selling stuff out of your house. So you don't need to have any cost of goods on your inventory and no like cost of packing supplies. And most people have some like packing tape or something kicking around the house, but maybe use the $5 to buy some packing tape and you're off and running. Sell your first thing, get some money going, and then start reinvesting that stuff at thrift store and garage sales and get rolling. But yeah, start with $5. What's the benefit of scheduling eBay listings? Never done it in over 10 years, just list as I go. Zach, so with eBay, there's a lot of talk about the algorithm, and especially like older, like folks who have been on eBay, like OGs, talk a lot about the algorithm and the benefits of listing every single day and how that feeds the algorithm. It's kind of like witch magic, black cauldron kind of stuff. Nobody really knows what the algorithm is. Algorithm is just a formula, right? Nobody knows, but everybody suspects that activity helps the algorithm. So there's people who say somebody does 70 listings a week. They're not going to push all 70 listings on, say, Monday, Tuesday, 35 and 35. They're probably going to space them out and do 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. I don't worry about that too much. I do believe that, activity every day on the platforms helps. I do believe that. I'm not going to reject that. But I also use Nifty, which delists and relists items every single day. So I don't have to worry about sort of feeding the algorithm in that classic sense, because the algorithm is fed by Nifty for me. And if I look at my dashboard right now on Nifty, just to give you an idea, today there's been 33 recreates on eBay, meaning Nifty has ended a listing that's 29 days old and then relisted that item as a new listing with a new item number and a new URL. So 33 times that's already happened today. So for me to like space out listings and make sure that, I listed 10 today and then 10 tomorrow, it doesn't really matter because I've taken care of the algorithm. I would rather get listings up quicker because that means that they can sell quicker. If I have listings that I've made today and I haven't scheduled them till Friday, then somebody could have bought that item on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, right? But it can't be bought because I haven't listed it, if that makes sense. So if you have a bot that's doing delisting and relisting for you, I would suggest getting listings up sooner than later instead of delaying, because that's just a whole bunch of items that you've already done the work on that somebody literally can't sell. You're essentially standing in front of the cash register, which is actually one of the biggest pieces of advice I got young in my business career is don't put obstacles in front of the cash register, literally or figuratively. I grew up working in brick and mortar restaurants, right? So a lot of it was like literally, but if people want to give you money, take the money. So if you've already done all the work to take photos of an item, to measure it and like describe it and all that stuff, and then you're holding that item back and you're not letting anybody sell it, it's sitting in the back room where nobody can see it. To me, I think you're standing in front of the cash register. So That's my thought. If you have a bot that's feeding the algorithm and delisting and relisting every single day, I don't think delaying listings is the right move personally. But there's a lot of people who will probably disagree with me. But you ask me, not anybody else. eBay held $125 this morning on an item that shows delivered rules. Yeah, frustrating stuff right there. Because of Nifty, sorry that you're experiencing that. Because of Nifty, I sold like crazy on Mercari and Poshmark this weekend. So stinking happy with eBay, 13 orders. Nice. That's awesome. I would love to hear your success. And I love to hear that Nifty was part of that too. Makes sense. I'll have to look into Nifty. There you go. By the way, we're talking about Nifty a little bit here. I have a link right here that I'm going to drop below in the chat. If you want to check out Nifty for free, click that link. You'll get a 7-day free trial, no strings attached. You can check out how Nifty works and see how it impacts your business for a full 7 days. And if you like it, you'll get 15% off your first month. All you got to do is click that link right down there below. I've used Nifty for the past 18 months. I switched to it in April of 2024. No looking back. I've used other cross listers. I've used other automation tools. Nifty does automation, cross listing, and AI listing all built into one single sign-on, one platform. To me, it's the best out there. And I can say that with confidence. Don't waste your time with the other stuff. But don't take my word for it. You can click the link for a free trial. I have over 400. So feel like that may help to relist. There you go. Absolutely. I list as I go, no reason to wait. Let Nifty do the relisting in the long run. Yep, Nifty takes care of the algorithm for me. I don't got to worry about it. Sorry, came in late. What cross-listing tool do you use then? Nifty? Yep, I just dropped a link right above your comment. You should see the link for the free trial. I've been using it for 18 months. I freaking love it. And a lot of people in the chat love it too. We've already got some comments about how recent joinees to Nifty have seen really big bumps in their business. I work a full-time job and it's hard to list every single day. Use the schedule to list during the week. Nice. Is Nifty basically for listing and delisting so you don't have to? What are the other benefits of Nifty? So Nifty is 3 things all rolled into one. So it cross-lists to other platforms. So you can list something on eBay and then you can cross-list that item onto Poshmark, Mercari, Depop, and Etsy. And then when something sells, Nifty will automatically take it down from the other platforms. So if you cross-listed something on the Poshmark, the item sells on Poshmark, Nifty will detect the sale and automatically take it down from the other platform. So it manages your inventory in that sense. But it also has automation tools, like it sends automatic offers to customers. So if somebody on Poshmark likes your listing, you can set Nifty up so it automatically sends them an offer 10 minutes later of whatever percentage off you want. I do it at 10%. It gets me extra sales every day. Nifty's also an AI lister too. So all I do now is I take my photos and my measurements. I upload those into Nifty. Nifty writes the item title, writes the description. I look it over, double check it, push it, make a couple edits and push it through. So it saves me time on my listing too. So you probably heard people talk about AI listers. Nifty has an AI lister built in to its tool. It also has analytics in there so you can track your business and all that. It's pretty robust. And I'm a big fan of it. And a lot of people in the chat are big fans of it too. Greetings, Miss Unites. And again, if you want to check it out on Instagram, I can't drop links in the chat. Well, I can, but you can't click them. But you can just click on my profile and you can go to the link for Nifty. You'll see it. You just answered my question. Nice, Mandy. I've learned so many things from working in customer service department at a grocery store. Crazy mix of people, good and bad, but some really awful. I'm glad it doesn't get you down. Oh man, no. I worked in restaurant business for more than a decade. Yeah, nothing about people and their behavior really shocks me at this point. It takes a lot to sort of make me go, whoa, that was weird. When I share stuff on social media, I'm usually just laughing about it. It doesn't bother me. Vendu will not list to Mercari. They have an issue. Interesting. Sorry to hear that. Is Nifty better than Vendu? It's not even a fair fight. It's not even a fair fight. No, it is not a fair fight. The automation is so much better than Vendu, and there's so many fewer hiccups, and it has the AI lister built into it too. So, yeah, I used to use Vendu and some other cross listers over the years, and I actually used Vendu for years. But once Nifty came out with their cross lister, it was like game over. It was game over. All right, next up is Joseph. We only shipped one freaking item. You guys are chatty today. I like it. Let's get some orders knocked out. So here's a good sale right here. I picked up 2 of these at a thrift store. They're both Peter Millar, just cotton quarter zips, nothing fancy right here. I paid $4 a piece for them. One was black, one was blue. They're both medium. The black already sold. Now the blue sold. $29.99 on this one. You know, with the Peter Millars, you're really looking for more like the moisture wicking performance stuff. But this time of year, a cotton quarter zip like this can sell. So that's going to Joseph. One of the things I always do with Peter Millar is look up the style number on the inside tag. It's usually the tag that's down here next to the materials tag. There'll be a style number right there. I Google that. I Google Peter Millar and that style number, and it will tell me what the style name is, and then I put that style name in the listing. So this one is called the Crown Comfort Interlock Quarter Zip. So I put that right into the item title, so that somebody who's searching for it new and doesn't want to pay like $110 for this piece, when they're Googling it, they might find it at my eBay listing through Google and be psyched to pay $30 for a shirt that they're looking at $110 brand new. So, but they won't find it unless you use that like actual style name, because that's what they're looking at on the Peter Millar website. So I just use those same exact words in my item title. And I think that helps me sell Peter Millar better than maybe some other folks do. Because those are your best customers. When you're selling used, your best customers is somebody who's looking at the brand new price. Because if they're looking at 110 and they're looking at your listing at 30, they're like, well, damn, 30 sounds great because I'm looking at 110, you know? So those are the best customers. They usually don't nickel and dime you as much. That person paid full asking price. Does Nifty work with eBay shipping policies, or do you create them with Nifty? I believe it will work with your existing shipping policies. I didn't have shipping policies, so that when I started with Nifty like it just built my shipping policies for me on eBay. I actually didn't have to make them. But I never used them before, but I assume it would work with your existing shipping policies, because it uses AI to kind of read whatever you're already doing and it just copies it. So I think you'd be good. Way back when I used Channel Advisor, worked with them some. Now Rhythm, it's top level, albeit expensive. Never heard of those things. You'll have to tell me more. Word has it they are deploying an AI soon too. Cool. Never heard of those things. You'll have to tell me more. Sold 17 over the weekend. It ain't dead. That's awesome. Good for you. I love it. I love to hear about your sales. So when Nifty's AI lister, you have to list on a Nifty app and it populates to eBay and Poshmark. Yep. So it kind of cuts off a step too, because I don't have to then cross list those items. It creates the listing and it pushes it at once to eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari for me. And it would do it to Depop and Etsy too if I just don't use those platforms. I'm curious who ships in poly bags and if they've had issues shipping it that way, or are boxes the safer way to ship. Everything I'm going to ship today, maybe with the exception of 1 or 2 things, is going to go into a poly bag. Hope that helps. Were you the person that was doing the Levi's selling challenge in October? If so, did you complete it? 90 Levi's in 90 days is what I'm shooting for. So that's me. Started September 1st. We're on day 64 right now. So we're completed 63 days and I've sold 58 pairs of Levi's. So I'm about 5 behind pace. But October was a little bit better than September. I did a post kind of doing an update a couple of days ago, but yeah, 58 sold in 63 days. I have 27 days left. Can I get there? I think so. It's got to be close anyway. It's just a fun little challenge. See, the top level sales management platforms have arrangements with Marketplace covering things like stockouts, errors, delisting upon sales, all covered. Gotcha. Yes, it works with existing shipping policies. There you go. Nick Smith with the answer for you. Whoever asked that question about the shipping policies. That was 707. I think you heard that. Hopefully you did. Rhythm represents many brands, Best Buy, medium-sized vendors. Okay, so you're probably talking about something like a little bit differently. Like you're talking about something a little different than eBay, Poshmark kind of platform. Got it. Thanks, that will save my time. I'll try it. Yeah, give it a try. You'll have to you might change some things about your listing process in order to go from like listing direct to eBay to doing it on Nifty. It took me like about a week to kind of figure out like our new rhythm and flow is going to be. And once we got that ironed out, it's like, cool. Now it's a time saver, but give it some time, kind of tinker with it. Like anything new, right? You'll have to tinker and you'll be slow at first, but you'll get faster as you move forward. So you say cross sell and something sells on Mercari, and for whatever the reason, eBay didn't get deleted. Rhythms deals with eBay to protect the seller. Gotcha. I think you're talking about, I'm going to look up what you're talking about. I think you're talking about something that's like that that's different than what somebody would be using for what we do. Of course, it doesn't give me like any prices or anything on the website. Do you happen to know the pricing? They're not sharing the prices on their website anywhere. Yeah, they won't, unless I give them my email address, they're not going to tell me pricing. Can you give us an idea of what pricing of this rhythm is it? No, they deal with eBay, Poshmark, even dropship operations, and some one of the oldest in the industry. And yeah, so you're probably talking about something that's much more expensive for these people who run businesses out of their house like we do. Probably a different thing. When's your next Whatnot show? I don't know. Surf's up. What's up, Surfs? How are you, bud? Does Nifty list to Whatnot yet? It does not. It does not. Okay. Next up is no prices. They are very focal, not a cottage operation like much. You have to interface with them. Gotcha. Yeah, probably not a solution for people who are reselling, like 100 or a couple hundred items a month out of their shop. I'm guessing that's something that, more for like a big business with a warehouse sort of thing. But thank you for sharing some of that stuff. It's interesting to me. Next up is Brooks Brothers. This is Brooks Brothers lightweight Advantage chinos right here. You're not gonna be able to really see anything, but just take my word for it. They are lightweight chinos. They're actually really, really lightweight. So these sold for a full asking price, $25.99. I paid $5 at the thrift store. I like picking up Brooks Brothers chinos. Not always the fastest seller, although this time of year they sell well. But I do like picking them up, and you can find them everywhere. I mean, this is like Brooks Brothers chinos is something I find pretty often at a lot of thrift stores, and they're usually not going to be marked up either. So just a good bread and butter piece right there. So this is what I say. Yeah, I paid $5, sold for $25.99. See how long they took to sell. Try to give you as much stats as possible. I picked those up in April, so not a fast seller right there. It took 6 months to sell. So, but they sell. I like picking them up. It fills up the cart. So this is going to Margaret. What did I miss? KM Woke, restart please. What's up, Chemo? Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're doing well. We're just kind of getting started shipping. We're not just getting started flapping my gums. We've been flapping my gums for about 30 minutes, and we got 3 sales packed up so far. So y'all are chatty today. I like it. I love hearing about your business. I love hearing about your sales. I love answering your questions. Where can I buy the coffee? You can buy the coffee at the link that I'm going to drop in the chat right now. That link is always available at chris@peak.com, or you can, in the description of this video, you can find it too. But right there is a direct link right to my coffee website. If you buy coffee during the live, I'll ship it out during the live with a big dose of gratitude. If you haven't tried our coffee before, we have a light roast, a medium roast. This guy fell down. A light roast, a medium roast, and a dark roast. It's all fair trade and organic, and it's single origin, and it's roasted fresh every Thursday right here in Black Mountain, North Carolina by our friends at Dynamite Roasting. They've won Western North Carolina's #1 coffee roaster 13 years in a row, which is crazy. So they are the best partner. Their coffee is amazing. It's our favorite coffee, and it's an honor to be able to put our logo on the best roasted coffee here in Western North Carolina. So it's top shelf coffee. This isn't just like pretty good coffee. This is literally on the top shelf. It's fair trade, it's organic, and it's single origin. So it is just delicious, and it's as fresh as can be. And I'm drinking some right now. If you haven't tried our coffee before, we always encourage people to try the medium roast, our Hooper's Creek medium roast. It is just smooth, just a little milk chocolate sweetness, but it's just a very, very balanced cup of coffee. Total crowd pleaser. Nobody will be offended by that coffee. It's just so well balanced. Great daily driver. What's up, Cameron? How are you? Are you still doing any Whatnot shows? I haven't done a Whatnot show in a year and a half. I used them when they were a channel advisor. Nice. Nice. One coverage. Nice. I like it. Thanks for sharing. What did I miss? Okay. Next order going out. Great order right here. This is right place, right time. This does not happen most of the time when I do retail arbitrage. I did 4 stops retail arbitrage this past week. I got maybe a total of, in those 4 stops, maybe 12 or 14 total items. And nothing as good as this. But if you make it a regular part of your routine, you stop in, you see what's on the clearance rack every now and again, you jump into something really good. Got a Solomon puffer jacket right here. I think I paid $40 or $50 for this jacket, but the retail price on it is $275. It's a 700 fill count, brand new with tags, sold for $129.99 on a best offer on eBay. So pretty pumped about this one. And let me see. I'm gonna put that in a box. This is probably the one item that I'll put in a box all day. I don't mind paying $40, $50 for something like this when I know it's going to sell for over $100. So this buyer is getting a really good price. It's a $275 jacket. They're getting it for $129. So like 55% off retail, brand new with tags. I mean, that's awesome. It's a great deal for them. It's a great deal for me. I'll make probably about $60 on this sale. We had some big dollar sales today too. $200 sales. We got another 2 more that are 50, maybe 3 more that are $50 sales. So not as much volume as last weekend, but with some of these wintertime things selling, you know, puffer jackets and the like, those things sell for good money. So I'm happy with that. This is going out to Pablo. Thank you, Pablo. Really great buy there. I think I had it listed for $139.99. I think they offered $100 and I countered at $129.99 and they took it. So there we go. Awesome sale right there. I'm pretty psyched about that one. But that's like, you know, I could go to, you know, 10 more stops of retail arbitrage and not find one item that's that good. But every now and again, you run into one of those and it's pretty awesome. Next up is a pair of Levi's 511s. I paid $5 for these at the thrift store, size 34 by 36. They sold for full asking price $21.99. I do find that the gray sells a little bit better than the blue. These took 104 days to sell, so 3 months to sell. I picked them up in the middle of July, which is the slowest time of year to sell jeans. July 21st to be exact. And they sold November the 2nd. This is denim season. Yeah, you'll sell some denim in the summertime, but it definitely slows down. I find that denim sells pretty well until about April the 15th, and then it kind of falls off a cliff and then picks up again in September. But definitely the best months for denim: September, October, November, December, and then it slows down a little bit, but these are the best months. The front end of the fall and the winter. So this is going to Ellen. I see your questions coming in, your comments. I'll get to those in 1 second. So again, I have sold 58 Levi's in the past 63 days on eBay and Poshmark. So pretty good right there. Hello, Norma. Welcome in. My favorite coffee is Starbucks Pike's Place Medium Roast. What would you recommend to get in your coffee selection? I would go right down the middle. I would go with the Hooper's Creek Medium Roast. If you like the Pike's Place, or it's Pike's Peak, right? Pike's Place, Pike Place. If you like that, you're gonna love this. It's gonna be a smoother, more balanced cup of coffee than that one from Starbucks. It's not going to be as roasted. It's, you know, that's not organic. It's not fair trade. It's not the same quality of beans. We are at a different level from that. I think you'll really like the Hooper's Creek if you like that. It is a step up for sure. Any strategies in the new promoted listing on eBay? Will you still promote at 6%? I think I'm going to still promote at 6%. It doesn't go into effect until January 13th, so we don't have to make decisions today. But I think I'm just going to keep doing what I've always done. So you say you're using List Easier and your account gets suspended. They cover you. Nice. Thank you. Thank you for sharing about this. I appreciate it. Junkersfield, we're not going to make fun of other coffee companies. I mean, maybe we should, but we respect all the, Starbucks paved the way for premium coffee, really, and to make it widely sold. Yeah, to make it mainstream in the U.S. The U.S. used to, the only coffee that sold was just like low end cheap coffee, and Starbucks sort of brought premium coffee to the average person and really led the way for a lot of these coffee companies like ours and like for our roasters. So there's a lot of respect in the industry for what Starbucks did. Yeah, sort of in the way that like Magic and Bird put the NBA on the map. The NBA finals used to, before Magic and Bird, was on tape delay. It wasn't even on like live television for the finals. So, Larry Bird and Magic, paved the way for a lot of these NBA stars that are making a lot of money now. They wouldn't have made that money if they played in the 70s before those guys. So, that's what Starbucks is for the premium coffee industry. So there's a lot of respect in the industry for Starbucks, even though most of the premium coffee you're going to buy out there is going to be better quality for sure. It's going to be organic and all that stuff. Have you seen several long-term eBay sellers are divorcing eBay? I haven't heard anything of that sort, Nick. Who's divorcing from eBay? Oh, you like the people who are the whatnot sellers? Yeah, it's a kind of a different ball game when you're doing the whatnot stuff. But those are the only people I'm familiar with. Are people who are not whatnot sellers divorcing from eBay? Am I missing something? We did Virgin Falls in Tennessee this weekend. Strenuous 8 miles round trip. Sore. Nice. I'm gonna have to look up that one. Scrap for keep. So you said it's called Virgin Falls, huh? We did a super easy hike this weekend. We did I think it was like 1.8 miles or something, and it was like basically no elevation gain. Yeah, I think I found it. 8.1 out and back. That's a cool looking fall right there. Let's see, how do I get there? I'm going to Google Maps it. All right, what do we got here? See how far it is. It's far. 4 hours and 14 minutes. It's out near Crossville. Interesting. Yeah, that would be a heck of a drive. A couple hours past Knoxville. Cool. But the pictures of it look really beautiful. That sounds like a great hike. I think we are going to see eBay do away with promoted organic next year in favor of higher final value fees across the platform. Maybe so. Nothing compares to Nifty. It's made me a lot of money. There you go, Matt. I like it. That was some good basketball back then. Well, it was. Hey, Chris, been a sub for a while. First time to catch a live. Recently started Nifty. Love it. Glad to hear that, man. And welcome to the live. I'm glad that you caught one. Let me know if you have any questions. This is a great place to ask questions, right? I get so many questions on like nuanced questions that people will ask on like posts or reels. And it's really hard to like get into the detail with it. Because usually I have like, when somebody asks me a question, I usually have like a question for them first. Well, tell me about your business, and so this is a great place to ask those questions. If you haven't dropped questions in the chat, probably whatever question that you're thinking about asking, there's somebody else in the room that's thinking about asking the same thing. There are no stupid questions. So get those down below in the chat. If I don't know the answer, I'll be honest and say I don't know. Let's get back to some shipping here. We got an order going out for Carissa. Just a bread and butter piece right here. Polo Ralph Lauren. Nice gingham check pattern right here. Men's size, extra large. This is a Blake. Blake is always relaxed fit. One thing that's worth noting on these two, this is some like second level knowledge here. Blake, you can get a lot of returns if I just listed this as XL and didn't really emphasize relaxed fit. I put relaxed fit in all caps on this one because they do fit pretty relaxed fit as compared to a typical Polo Ralph Lauren. I'll actually look at the measurements and see what it is. So typical XL is going to, for Polo, is going to be like 25 or 26 pit to pit would be pretty typical. And this one's probably more. Yeah, pit to pit on this one is 30. So if I didn't mention that this was relaxed fit, it's very likely that I would get a return on this because it's got to fit a lot wider than a typical XL. Again, this is 30 pit to pit, which is more like a 2XL or even a 3XL for Polo Ralph Lauren typically. So I emphasize relaxed fit on these Blakes. I think that's an important thing to do. You'll get less returns because of it. And I think in the listing too, I usually put like a little disclaimer. Yep, Polo Ralph Lauren Blake fits very relaxed. This shirt measures like a classic fit size 2XL to 3XL. See measurements below. So I emphasize that in the description because for me, it's worth adding that little tidbit to reduce my chances of a return by a pretty good bit. Now, they still might not read any of that stuff, but hopefully they did, and hopefully this doesn't come back. This sold on a nifty best offer, so $19.80. So I had it listed for $21.99. The buyer on eBay, Carissa, came in and watched the item on eBay. 10 minutes later, Nifty sent them a 10% off offer. Carissa accepted that offer. Done deal. I didn't have to do nothing. Of course, I had to list the item and all that, but love that. So just a bread and butter sale here. I paid $5, sold for $19.80. I've sold more Polo Ralph Lauren this year than any other brand by a long shot, and it's been my #1 seller all 7 years I've been in business. And if I were a gambling man, I would bet on year number 8, which we're in right now. I would bet on it being the #1 selling brand again in month number 8. There's just so much of this Polo Ralph Lauren stuff out there. It's been around for so long. It's been so widely distributed. You're going to find it everywhere. You're going to find it at retail stores on clearance. You're going to find it at thrift stores. You're going to find it at estate sales. You're going to find it at garage sales, yard sales, you name it. Polo Ralph Lauren is out there, and it just sells. Never goes out of style. It's like Levi's. Doesn't go out of style. Next up is Diesel. A lot of these brands like come in style, go out of style, maybe come back in a little bit later. I mean, ups and downs, ups and downs. You're not going to have ups and downs with Polo Ralph Lauren and Levi's. Just good, consistent sellers. Got a brand new pair of Diesels right here. $103.46 these sold for. The model is Safato. I've been selling these online arbitrage for years. It's been a good, consistent seller for me. They have slowed down, though. They have slowed down. But 103.46. This was on a nifty best offer as well. I think these were listed for $114.99, I want to say, or $116.99. I forget. But anyway, they do retail for $195. So this buyer is getting a good deal. They're getting basically 40% off, and they are paying shipping. So $8.95 shipping on these. I bought like 20 or 25 of these, and I paid on average about $60 a piece. So I paid up for them. It's not a huge margin, but for me, they're multi-quantity listings. I had a couple of different sizes in these, but I had multiples of each size. So I really probably had to make like 4 or 5 listings total and to get like 20 or 25 sales. So even if the margin's not that great, the dollars per hour is awesome because I didn't have to list each one of these individually. So it's been built into my business for the last few years. I like to do online arbitrage like that. It's helped me grow. It's helped me make a lot of money. It's not for everybody. Not everybody likes spending $60 per unit. But that's kind of baked into how my business works. So $103 sale right there. I am here for it, even though the margin's not going to be super big. That's the problem at eBay. What's going on here? Statistics are AI shopping is up for. Oh, wow. Okay. Sounds like AI shopping is up. I like it. What's your return policy, and do you think accepting returns really helps your business? I haven't turned returns on yet, but I am curious. I've had returns on, and I've actually offered free returns for more than 5 years. To me, when you're a lot of the stuff I sell is high competition. There's so many people out there selling very similar items or the same exact items. So any way that I can, I have over 1,400 listings. So any way that I can get just a little competitive advantage on these items, which I have a ton of competition on, I'm going to look for. So if I have somebody that's looking at a listing with the same exact LL Bean flannel that I'm going to ship out right now, tons of these listed, right? Somebody can find the same exact pattern, same exact size, maybe even for a better price. If they're looking at somebody else's listing and mine, and the difference is that other person doesn't offer returns and this one does, and that results in a couple extra sales a week for me, I'll take it because I got 1,400 listings, right? So it's a game of odds. Is it going to help me every single time? No. But if it helps me 2% of the time on 1,400 listings, you can do some math right there and say that's helpful. So to me, I'm looking for any way to get just a little bit of a competitive advantage. Some of you in the chat probably have the same exact shirt for sale in your stores, and maybe even a better price. Mine sold for full asking price, $21.99. So as you grow your business, right, you're thinking about just little tiny ways. How can I get just a slight competitive advantage over somebody else without doing a lot of extra work, you know? And that's a lot of the reason why you see me do things like these thank you cards that I've always had for my business, and I put them in every single order. That's why I do things like that little sticker right there, inviting people to come back for more with a QR code and a link to my website. Is that working 100% of my time, 100% of the time? No. But if it works 1% of the time, then it's worth that very minimal effort. And it's like the sticker cost me a cent, the card cost me 3.5 cents. So for me, like those little tiny little things that might give me a competitive advantage and get me a couple extra sales every week are built into my business. So if you do a bunch of those little things, that can add up. And to me, that's why I offer free returns. The other reason I offer free returns on eBay is that they give you, if you do 1 day handling time and you offer free returns, then you get a 10% discount on your final value fees. So for me, that 10% discount on final value fees every month always exceeds what I pay in return shipping back to the house. About 3% of my items get returned on eBay. So, say, every month I have 10 items get returned, then I'll probably pay on average like $6 per shipping label for those 10 items. So that's $60 in return shipping that I'm paying. But I'm saving more than $60 because I'm getting the 10% off the final value fee for having 1 day handling time and the free shipping on those listings. So that's why I do it. Does that mean it's right for your business? I don't know. That's a decision that you'll have to make for sure, but that's why I do it. So I pay, say, 10% promoted. The AI shopping apps pick up my higher rank via the app. It gets sold, which is not organic. eBay doesn't get paid yet. Did they have an item? Okay. I'm not really sure I'm following kind of all that conversation, but I appreciate you sharing it. Appreciate you sharing. I'm not sure I'm like really following all that, but next up is for Mark, but I appreciate you sharing it. Somebody else might be picking it up, so it's helpful. 501 Levi's. This is probably my highest sale price for a non-vintage used Levi's since I started this challenge. $28 on these. Buyer paid $8.95 shipping. I paid $5 at the thrift store. For me, 501s tend to sell the quickest and usually for a couple extra bucks. Most jeans, Levi's, I sell for between $20 and $23. For me, 501s are more like 22 to 26, but this one I got 28 on. I listed it a little bit higher because it's it's a different color. It's got that like tan color to it. And if you don't know, the 501s are the button flies. So they just tend to sell a little bit better than the other ones in my experience. And these are going to Mark in Lincoln, Nebraska. Shipping label on this will cost $7.67. So Levi's aren't big profit per unit, right? I've sold 58 of them in the past 63 days. Not big profit per unit, but on this particular one, I'll just give you the exact breakdown. So let's see here. So they sold for $28 plus $8.95 shipping. And after my shipping label and all fees, including my promotion fees, it'll be $21.14 is my earnings. If you subtract my $5 cost of goods That leaves me with $16.14. But my poly bags cost me 6 cents a piece. The stickers on here, I have 2 of them. They cost 1 cent a piece. And my thank you cards cost me 3.5 cents a piece. So my packaging is about 15 cents on top of that. A lot of people ask about like, yeah, but what about the cost of like packing supplies? Even with 2 stickers on there, my shipping label on there, and my thank you card and the poly bag, it's 15 cents per unit on average. So it's really not significant. So I made 16 bucks on that, even after the shipping supplies. Great way to look at the free returns. I haven't considered the savings on final value fees outweighing the cost of returns. There's different ways of looking at it, but yeah, that's just the way I look at it. You promote at 6%, your items rank higher on eBay. The AI shopping apps pick up that higher rank. Now your item sells via that AI app. eBay doesn't get paid the 6%, as the sale wasn't organic internal to eBay. Gotcha. I'm not picking up. You know, I just don't think we're on the same wavelength with this conversation. That's okay. That's fine. But I'm just gonna move on from that one. I think we might be saying the same thing, just 2 different ways, but I'm going to move on from that conversation if that's okay. Next up is a pair of vintage Carhartts. These are going out to Zachary. This is a $50 sale right here. So not all Carhartt pants are going to be worth 50 bucks. These pants are 20 years old though, so they're vintage, and they're the double knee carpenter style. So it's got that like thick double knee. These were listed for $59.99. They sold for a best offer this morning, actually for 50 bucks. I woke up and had this offer. So nice little sale right here. $50 on a pair of Carhartt pants that I paid $5 for at the thrift store. Now, the Carhartts are so easy to look up. So easy to look up, y'all. Every pair of Carhartt pants and every like shirt and everything too, they have a model number on the main tag. You just look up that model number. In this case, the model number is B136. So all I did to comp this was just look up Carhartt pants B136. And I was able to look at what recent sales of that same exact model were going for. I'm going to put this in a little bit of a bigger bag. So it's so easy to comp Carhartts. There's really not much nuance to it. You just type in that model number, type in Carhartt, and you'll find that exact model and look at recent sales. So that's, you know, you can't do that with every brand out there. But with Carhartt, it's easy. I mentioned Peter Millar. You can do that with just about every time. More of the modern clothes, you can do that more frequently. All right, so this is going to Zachary in Mattapoisett, Massachusetts. Did you yell? I thought I heard Kim talking. So awesome sale right there, 5 into 50. I'll give you the exact profit on that one too, just because it's a bigger sale. Where'd it go? There it is. Chris, would you be interested in North Face Invincible jacket? They're pretty rare. I have a size medium one. Maybe. Andrew, what's going on with this jacket? I usually don't have people sell stuff to me in my Instagram feed. What's going on with this jacket? What's happening here? So after fees and everything, I'll make $35 on these, and I charge $9.95 shipping. So yeah, I'll make 35 bucks on these after shipping and fees. And next up is a Fall Raven. I picked up a bunch of these retail arbitrage back in January, and the brand is Fall Raven, and nice like heavy flannel right here. This retails for $110. Fall Raven is a really good brand to keep your eye out for. I bought a bunch of these. I want to say maybe a dozen of them, and I paid between $25 and $30 a piece. This one sold for 50 bucks, so it's not really a good profit margin right there, but I had them listed for $65, and a few of them did sell for $65. So I would say my average buy cost on these was like 28 bucks, we'll call it. So At $65, that's good profit. At $50, really not so much. But I think this is the last one, or maybe one of the last ones. And because obviously the heavy flannels aren't going to sell really well in the summertime, but I did sell some of them back in January. Let's see if I have any more. Let's see here. I'm kind of curious. No, that is the last one to sell. So they gone. So I was happy just to take a lower price on this one, just to get it gone and move on from it. This is going to David. Thank you, David. Really nice brand. Keep your eye out for Fall Raven. Really in demand. Their distribution isn't super high yet, so it still has like pretty strong sale price, or pretty strong resale value, I should say. So this is going to David. David's in Denton, Texas. They're even buying flannels in Texas right now. It's getting cold. It's getting cold. Thanks, y'all, if you're just jumping in. Just giving you a good, honest glimpse into our business. We do this every Monday. We go live. We ship out all our orders from the last couple of days. I ship 6 days a week. I don't ship on Sundays because the post office is closed and there's no pickup. So what we're looking at is 2 days worth of sales. So last time I shipped was Saturday afternoon. And we're just going through everything. I'm telling you exactly what I bought, how much I paid for it, what sold, showing you exactly what sold, how much people paid for it, how much I paid for it. I'll tell you about how long it took to sell those items. And trying to be as honest and transparent as possible for one reason and one reason only, so that you can maybe pick up a thing or two and help get started your reselling business or grow your existing reselling business. So welcome in if this is your first time. And also, if it's your first time, all these lives are available as recordings. So as soon as this live is over, if you're just walking in, you're like, oh, I missed a whole bunch of his sales. Don't worry. As soon as this is over, you can rewatch it. You can rewind. You can fast forward through boring stuff, whatever it might be. And we will, So if you are watching the recording, let us know. Write SHIP down below in the chat, SHIP. If you're watching live, love to hear what's going on with your business. I love to hear your questions and answer as many of those as possible. If I don't know the answer, I'll tell you, I don't know. It's as simple as that. But I appreciate you being here. What's up, Mariah? We've been doing this for years, y'all. We've been doing this for years. This is just a long-standing shipping live. It's just something I do. Great sale coming up here. Another $50 sale. I love the wintertime stuff because it sells for more money, because it's usually heavier and warmer and whatever. So we got another down jacket. This is our second down jacket going out the door from the last couple of days. This one here is a Mountain Hardwear, which is an outdoor brand. Think Patagonia, North Face. It's kind of in that same neighborhood. Good stuff. I personally like the brand too. I have Kim has a down jacket, 2 down jackets from Mountain Hardwear, and I have one as well. She's got like a light one, and then she's got a heavy one. I don't really need this to fold it. So we'll fold this up. This sold for $50. I paid $7 for this at a thrift store, and it sold for $50. I love finding these, especially like in the middle of the summer, but I found this one pretty recently. Nobody's looking at jackets like this in the summertime except for me and maybe you. This one took 22 days to sell. So I picked this one up in October and listed it on the 12th. So 22 days to sell, $50 on a best offer. I had it listed for $59.99. Got an offer for $50. I'll take it. Good morning, Jamie. Welcome in. Are those numbers you're sharing with us from your data in Nifty? I could, but no, I'm just looking at eBay itself. I'm looking at the eBay tells you like what all your fees are if you just look at the order history. So I'm just clicking, since I'm in eBay, shipping off eBay, I just click on the order and it shows me all my metrics like that. But yes, you could also look at it on Nifty. I could do that as well. I'm just not shipping off my Nifty dashboard, if that makes sense. I'm shipping off my eBay dashboard, so it's easier for me to look at during this live because I have to look at eBay anyway. Let's see, put this in one of these bigger bags here. Harriet, J. Crew, Duluth, and Chico's so far today. Nice. That's a nice little collection of sales. I like it. Some nice fall sellers in there too. Just looking something up here. All right, so this is going to Anna. Just trying to get organized here. What is happening, Jamie? Bringing the positive energy. What is happening? I'll send you a DM right now. Thanks, brother. Appreciate that. All right, so Anna, this is going to Seattle, Washington. So a lot of people get nervous is that when they first start reselling about the cost of shipping, which, you know, there's always doom and gloom about shipping because the prices go up. It's kind of like gas or groceries. Stuff just goes up. Shipping prices go up. So I think there's a lot of nerves about like something costing a lot of money if you have to ship it far. So this is a 2-pound package. So it's going out at a 2-pound rate. And it's going all the way to Seattle, Washington from Asheville, North Carolina. So basically coast to coast. Doesn't get much farther away from us in the continental United States than Seattle, Washington. So $9.74 is how much this is shipping for. So I charge $9.95 shipping on this, and it's costing $9.74. So unless it's going to Alaska or Hawaii, it's not going to cost much more than that at a 2-pound rate. So there you have it. Don't be scared of shipping. You can do it. Next up actually came in today while I was out pulling orders live on TikTok. Got an order here. These next two actually both were. A pair of corduroys. You can see the Polo Ralph Lauren tag right there. These sold on a nifty best offer, $29.70. I think I had them priced at $34.99. Is that right? Or $33.99, something like that. Anyway, 10% off offer from Nifty. Chris, thank you for your order. Chris came in and watched this item on eBay, and 10 minutes later, Nifty sent them an automatic 10% off offer. Got to make Chris a thank you card. So I paid $5 for these at a thrift store. My profit's going to be right around $20 for these. I love picking up Polo Ralph Lauren corduroys. Good seller, particularly this time of year. The fall is definitely for corduroy. It's one of those things that sells well in the fall. I'll tell you how long these took to sell too. Hope I didn't put it in the spreadsheet yet. I didn't mark this as sold on my spreadsheet, so I don't have that data for you yet. Because these came in when I already started my live spree for the day. I've started going live on TikTok. First thing in the morning is I'm pulling orders before I go live on here. I got my access to TikTok live back for the first time in 20 months. I'd been banned from it for doing lives just like this. They banned me for shipping clothes. They get really sensitive. They're trying to protect TikTok Shop, which is their bread earner right now, their baby. And they don't like when you mention things like eBay and Poshmark and like other websites and stuff like that. They really don't like that. So that's why I got banned. But every time I go live on TikTok now, they don't ban me when I say eBay or Poshmark, but they immediately restrict the live, meaning it's not going out on FYP, which means people don't know that I'm live. It's kind of like, so my crowd is really small. So these are going out to Chris. These I picked up, the Polo Ralph Lauren corduroys, I picked up on October the 9th. So these took, and they sold today, which is 11/3. So those took 25 days to sell, Polo Ralph Lauren corduroys. So these are going to Chris. Okay, getting organized here. So in the world of eBay clothing resellers, to sell something in less than 30 days is definitely a W. But you expect stuff like corduroys right now, they're in season. That's the stuff that's going to sell quickly. Goose down jackets are going to sell quickly this time of year. Jeans sell more quickly this time of year. So But that's a quick one, 25 days on that one. Next up is an order for Seth, and we're almost done eBay, and then we're going to do some Poshmark sales too. Hey, from Griff 3 sells Fletcher heading into South Asheville Goodwill store. Good luck, Allison. I hope you get some good stuff. That's awesome. Are you going to Mills Gap? Is that the one you're going to? I hope you find some good stuff. Do you wash everything before listing? I spend so much time washing things. I don't, Mandy. UC, what's up, Vineyard? How are you? Vineyard Siren is in the house. Welcome in. LL Bean. So this isn't something that I pick up a lot of. So this is a double knit raglan crew neck. A lot of people don't know this about LL Bean too. All the LL Beans have a little style number on them too. So all I did was I Googled LL Bean and whatever the style number, it's probably on the inside tag down there. And it told me that this was the double knit raglan crew neck. So I just used that exact term in my item title too and got a sale on this one. Quick sale, I think. This sold for $18. I had it listed for $19.99. This is a nifty best offer. So 10% off auto offer was sent to this person. So $18 sale. I picked this up. I listed this October the 29th. So this took 5 days to sell right here. Not getting crazy rich off this, but this is definitely almost like a sweatshirt. It's somewhere between like a sweatshirt and a long sleeve tee. But this is in season right now. LL Bean always sells a good bit better for me in the fall. It's just a brand that I think people associate with like warmth and cold weather, but being cozy, that kind of thing. So LL Bean is a good fall seller for me, a winter seller as well. This is going out to Seth. Thank you, Seth. Fletcher is down. Yes, Fletcher is down 3, so no new tracks until this afternoon. They're down like 3 people. Did you get inside information? And so no new racks, I think is what you're saying. They're down 3 employees, or 3 people called out sick, or what's going on? You got inside information. Where are you getting this inside scoop? So not getting rich off this, $5, but a quick sale into 18. Fills up the cart. Do you promote your closet on Posh? I don't. Piece of scrap. I do not. All right, that's it for eBay. We got some Poshmark orders. I got Amazon orders too. I actually sold 5 things on Amazon this weekend, which is good. I haven't really been stocking my Amazon store very much in the last few months. So 5 Amazon sales for the weekend is probably a record for the last few months. All right, Poshmark time. So got a pair of Vineyard Vines Performance pants right here. There you go, Vineyard Vines. With these pants, the ones that sell the best aren't the 100% cotton. You're looking for ones that are like performance, so they either have spandex or polyester, like a golf pant kind of thing. That's got to be the stuff that sells a little bit better for the Vineyard Vine pants, and that's true with a lot of pants right now. Generally speaking, that's what people are looking for, that kind of performance pants. So these sold for $22, which I think was my full asking price on Nifty. And I paid $5 for them at a thrift store. These are going to Tiffany. Thanks, Tiffany. I'm going to use one of these USPS Ground Advantage, the free shipping supplies for Poshmark. If you haven't ordered your free Poshmark shipping supplies yet, I got you. They don't have them available on like a website. You can't go to USPS.com to get them. You have to send an email or you have to call. So if you want that information, all you have to do during this live or on the recording is write the words "tell me" down below in the chat. TELL space ME. If you write "tell me," I have it programmed so my bot is going to automatically send you all the information you need to go order the free USPS shipping supplies. So just type "tell me" in the chat and you'll get that sent right to your inbox. It'll tell you all the different sizes that are available, what quantities you can order them in. It will give you the exact email address, that you have to email or the exact phone number that you have to call. It's all programmed in there. So just write tell me down below in the chat if you still haven't ordered your Poshmark free shipping supplies yet. Again, they're not available on the website. You have to call or you have to email in order to order them. I think you glitched when you said, yes, we do wash all pre-owned clothing per eBay policy. I did not say that. What's your seller name on Amazon? All new merchandise. I'm not sure. I don't know. Do I have a seller name? Yes, all new merchandise. You got it, Lou. Check your inbox, brother. I don't make any. I don't have like an affiliate with a Poshmark's free shipping supply, so I'm not making any money for sending you that information. I just have it there as kind of a service for you, but that's not like an affiliate thing. I don't make any money for that, but I just programmed it in like one big message to you, so you have all the information that you need right at your fingertips. Next up is a pair of Tory Burch leggings. I've never found these before. I also don't spend a ton of time in the women's section of the thrift store, but you can see the logo right there, Tory Burch on these leggings. They're actually Tory Burch Sport is the label on them. I had these listed for $33. They sat for a little bit, I feel like. Wait for it. Yeah, I listed these April the 18th. So they sat for a little bit, 198 days. I got an offer for $25. Sure. I paid $5 for them. So they're out the door. Poshmark takes 20% fees. So on a $25 sale, Poshmark is going to take $5. That leaves me with 20. I paid $5, so I made $15 off these leggings. The shipping supplies are free for Poshmark. Anna, I see your order. Sorry. I think you might have said that you were ordering coffee a little while ago. I just didn't pick up what you were putting down, but I picked it up. Anna, thank you so much for your order. I see your order. We'll get that shipped out for you. I got 2 bags of the peak season fall light roast. Thank you so much. We'll get it shipped out to you with a big dose of gratitude here. If you're still in the live, Anna, sorry, I think you mentioned that earlier. I just didn't. You said you needed more coffee, but I didn't notice that you had actually put in an order. So we got you. Your coffee will be on the way in just a moment. You came through my TikTok yesterday, but you were just ending your live. My name is different over there. Gotcha. That would have been Saturday. Trying to go live on there again, but I get restricted every time I do. How do you get started reselling? What did you do before this? I was a career coach for a decade before this. Before that, for more than a decade, I ran restaurants before that. So how do you get started? I always suggest that people start with something that you already have in your closet. So, you know, a pair of shoes that you don't wear anymore, or a shirt that doesn't fit the way you want it to anymore. Start with that stuff. That stuff won't cost you any money. Obviously, it's already in your closet, and you know, just get the hang of listing and shipping by having things that are already in your closet. And then from there, you'll build up a little bit money from selling stuff that you've that's already in your closet, and you can use that money to go to thrift stores, estate sales, and whatnot, and just start getting rolling. But that's how I encourage people to start: is start small and start with stuff that's already in the house. Hey Donna, how are you? Hey Donna, how are you? What is up? Donna's in the house. All right, let's get this order out for Anna if you're still in the live. So we got 2 bags of our peak season fall light roast. So our light roast is a seasonal light roast, so it changes. You know, we have a spring, a fall, a spring, a summer, a fall, and a winter we'll have soon. So right now it's the fall, and I think you're really gonna enjoy this cup of coffee, Anna. Let's get your shipping label going here. So our fall light roast, this is from Honduras, and this is actually from the farm of Lenin Diaz. So this is a small family-owned farm that grows awesome coffee beans. These guys are rock stars. So that's our fall seasonal light roast. It's going to have real subtle hints of crisp apple, a little orange peel, and caramel to this one. To my taste, I pick up more of the caramel on this coffee, but everyone tastes it a little different, and depending on how you brew it, you're going to get different flavors too. But this isn't flavored coffee, I should point out. So it's fair trade, it's organic, and it's single origin coffee. So all these beans come from that one farm, from Lenin Diaz, family-owned farm in Honduras. But when I say it's got those, like, just hints, notes, it's really, really subtle. Crisp apple, orange peel, and caramel. But it's going to be super, super subtle. It's not flavored coffee. So we'll get this shipped right out to my friend here. To Anna, thank you for your order. Get you a handwritten thank you note, Anna. I don't know if you're still in the live, Anna, but we're going to thank you either way. You might watch it on replay too. Anna was in the live a little bit ago. I'm going to drop the direct link to the coffee. There you are. Okay. There you are, Anna. I'm going to drop the link if you want to check out our coffee. We have 3 different roasts, a light roast, a medium roast, and a dark roast. Anna's got herself 2 bags of the light roast. Thank you so much, Anna. And we'll get this right out to you. You're going to get a shipping confirmation, Anna, in your inbox with the tracking number in 2 shakes of the lamb's tail here. And Robert, thank you so much for your order. I appreciate that. We got 1 bag of the medium roast. I'll get you packed up in just a second here. Going up to Haverhill, Massachusetts. Did I say that right? Haverhill? Not Haverhill. You may or may not know I grew up in New Hampshire, and much of my family is from the Worcester area. Worcester. So I pronounce my town name, my Massachusetts town name, is the right way. I follow a guy, I think his name is Boston Dad on Facebook. He does a lot of just funny, Massachusetts type of content. And I think he's a trip. He's super funny. If you're not following, I think it's Boston Dad is his name on Facebook. Just super funny Massachusetts humor. Haverhill. Anna, you got a shipping confirmation in your inbox with the tracking. You are good to go. This is headed out today. You'll get it nice and quick. Some fresh coffee coming your way. Appreciate your biz. Did a show yesterday live, fill a box, $6. You did this on Whatnot. I got to clean out stuff that wasn't moving. I didn't make money, but I have learned to be more selective from you. There you go. I like that you're just moving stuff out. If there were mistake buys, get them gone, move on, and get your money back, move on from them. I like it. Can't be emotional about the business. You just have to be pretty matter-of-fact about it, I think. So I like your strategy there, Donna. Nice work. Got an order going out to... Are you here in the live with us, Robert? I imagine so. All our coffee is available, by the way. You can get whole bean or ground. So this is going out ground for Robert, our Hooper's Creek medium roast. If you haven't tried our coffee, I encourage you to start with this. This is the medium roast. It is the most balanced cup of coffee that we offer, and probably the most balanced cup of coffee you've ever had. Just a slight hint of sweet milk chocolate on this. But again, it's not flavored coffee. That's just the natural flavors of the coffee. Our medium roast, Hooper's Creek, is grown in Chiapas, Mexico. Chiapas, Mexico, Chiapas is the southernmost state in Mexico, right by the Guatemala border. Like all good coffee, it's grown at high altitude in the tropics. A lot of Central American coffees are going to have just like a subtle milk chocolate sweetness, and that definitely describes our medium roast from Chiapas. So thank you, Robert, for your order. Everyone gets a handwritten thank you note. Thank you, Robert. I think, let's take a look too. I think this might be Robert's first order. Let me take a look. I wish it would just tell me. I have to do a little digging though. Yeah, first time customer. Thank you, Robert. So really hope you enjoy the coffee. I think you will. This is actually the same coffee that I'm drinking as we speak, or kind of just finishing up. I got a little bit left. I did it as a cold brew for this morning. All right, Robert, you're going to get a shipping confirmation in your inbox right now. You still got a few more clothing orders to get done, but we got some coffee orders. So they came in during the live. We'll ship them right here during the live. Robert, you got a shipping confirmation in your inbox right now with the tracking number. Thank you so much. Thanks for supporting our small little business here. It is a trip to ship coffee to people we know. You know, most of this business, so I grew up in the restaurant business, right? So you have regular customers, people you know them by name. They come back more and more. And you have relationships with these people. You know their families, you know their kids, you know, whatever. You know what they like to eat, that's for sure. In some cases, what they like to drink, depending on where I was working at the time. And, you know, it's different. eBay, you ship to people, you don't know them. You'll probably never do business with them again in most cases. They're strangers from across the world. So in some ways, the eBay business is a little not natural to me. I mean, I like it, don't get me wrong, but what they'd say one of the downfalls is like I don't have relationships with those customers. And that's, I think, something that's really refreshing to me about this coffee business, right? Is that most of our business is repeat business. It's people that come back, they enjoy the coffee, and we know many of y'all, which is really fun too. So yeah, it's just really fun to be able to ship out coffee to new customers and to repeat customers like Anna. But thank you, Robert. You got a shipping confirmation in your inbox, and it's heading out today. Appreciate you so much. And you know what? You don't have to buy coffee for me to appreciate you. I mean, I will, but you know, tapping the screen, just being here, you know, sharing what's going on with your business, asking questions, all that stuff means a lot to me too, and that makes this business a lot more fun. That's why I love going live. I love having relationships with some of y'all, because I just don't get it with my eBay customers or my Amazon customers, right? They're just strangers from across the country. We got a couple of Amazon sales going out the door. Speaking of, got a pair of Lee women's jeans. I no longer buy women's jeans to sell on Amazon. The return rate is just abysmal on women's jeans. It is crazy on Amazon. So, but I do still have a couple left in stock. Hopefully this one doesn't come back. Hopefully it's just gone. I never have to see it again. But yeah, I still sell men's jeans, and there's still a pretty good return rate on men's jeans on Amazon. But the women's jeans is like, it's crazy how often they come back. So this is going out to Leonard in Alpharetta, Georgia. Leonard paid $32.23 for these Lee jeans, and hopefully they don't come back. But that Amazon business, man, it is just returns. 57 and sunny in Paris. Nice, Frenchie. What's up, brother? Do I need to put my return? Do I need to put my rules into my return policy on eBay? I see returns coming back even though I put all sizes in. I do return accepted, buyer pays, but see eBay charging sellers. Thoughts? I'm not sure I understand everything that's going on there. Do I need to put my rule? Do I need to put my? I'm not really sure I totally understand the question, but here's what I'll say. I offer free shipping on free returns on eBay, and I have for like 5+ years now. Because I have free returns and I have 1 day handling time, I save 10% on my final value fees on eBay. So I offer free returns and 1 day handling time. That's what I do. But I'm not really sure what you're getting at with your question. You might have to rephrase it for me, but that's what I do. I'll just share that. Hopefully that helps. Where are you on your 90-day jean journey? So we're through 63 days. Today's the 64th day, and I've sold 58 pairs of Levi's Frenchie. Thank you for asking, brother. We shipped out 2 today. And here's an Amazon buyer for 2 pairs of Lee jeans, size 42 by 29, the same exact pair, same exact size. Buyer bought 2 of them, which is nice. Now, this pair of jeans had sat around for a little while, so I lowered the price to get them gone. So this isn't going to be like a big profit item right here. They paid $26.97 a piece. So I'm basically going to break even on getting rid of these. But sometimes the market shifts on Amazon. And the person who gets the sale is almost always the person with the lowest price. So there was a whole bunch of sellers that had the same exact pair of jeans. So in order to get the sale and finally get them gone, I just had to lower my price so I was the best price and got rid of them. And that's what happens. They call it tanking. Prices tank. That happens on Amazon. It happens on eBay and Poshmark and stuff too, but not to the same thing, because Amazon, the way it is on eBay, everybody has their own listing, and they all have their own photos and they all look a little bit different. So you're not necessarily always, the sale isn't necessarily going to the lowest price. On Amazon, you're all on one listing. So there's one listing and there could be 17 sellers selling that same exact SKU. So to get the sale, you got to be the lowest price. But when you get backed up, when there's an item that has all kinds of sellers on it, you have price tanking. So everybody does what I did, right? They're like, well, shoot, I want to be the lowest price. So if I had it at 35, I'm going to bring it down to 32, and then I'll be the lowest. But then somebody else sees that I went down to 32 and they were at 34, so they lower their price, right? And it's a race to the bottom on price. People have bots and everything else. Amazon's just kind of a little bit of a different world. You're also competing directly with Amazon on a lot of these products too, and you just don't win very often when you're competing direct. You win sometimes, but you don't win very often when you're competing directly with Amazon, because they're going to do it. They're going to make it so they get the sale. So that's a wrap. The other 2 Amazon sales, I had 5 total units going out the door. The other 2 were Amazon FBA, which means fulfilled by Amazon. These are FBM, which means fulfilled by merchant. So I ship them. FBA means I ship them into Amazon, and Amazon takes care of that item. They take care of the shipping and the returns and all that stuff. So I had 3 total units going out the door on FBM, which I just shipped, and 2 that were on FBA. And pretty good weekend for me for 5. I haven't had 5 Amazon sales in a weekend in probably 3 or 4 months. So that's pretty good. I'll take it. I will take it. I actually bought Levi's the other day to sell because of you. I like it. Will eBay always notify you of a return? I had an order that was refunded, but I didn't catch it until the end of the month report. I think so. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know your return policies and all that stuff, but I've always got a notification, and then I get the item physically back because it's a return. Do you need to do both to get 10% off? No, there's no 5% off. So it's what eBay refers to is top rated seller plus. If you are a top rated seller plus, that means you get 10% off your final value fees. In order to qualify for Top Rated Seller Plus, you need to first be a top rated seller. Based on your selling metrics, you have to have that top rated seller badge. Second, you have to do free returns. Third, you have to offer 1 day handling time or less, 1 day or same day. I do 1 day. There is no 5% off. It's only 10% off. You have to do all three of those things. You have to be a top rated seller. You have to offer free returns, and you have to have 1 day handling time. And then you qualify for Top Rated Plus benefits, which means you get that little badge on your listing, and you get 10% off your final value fees. Hope that helps. Sold my first men's wool blazer. Let's go, Donna. Tell us more about that blazer. That's pretty awesome. I'm going to check and see if we had any action going on any of the platforms. Got a couple offers on IB Cool shirts. Let's see, 39. No, I'm not going to sell for that price. Make $35.99. I'm just countering a couple of offers. I had a $30 offer on a $39.99 polo shirt, so I'm going to counter that. And the person wanted a second one, same thing, $30. No, but we'll do it at $35.99, which is $4 off a shirt. That's pretty good. That's $8 savings if he buys both of them. It's already priced well. And then what do we got? Poshmark. Let's see if we got any offers here. So this is an example right here of what Nifty can do for your business. So this Peter Millar shirt I have listed for $35. This actually got returned. I just relisted this on Saturday. The return came back in, and I checked it over and relisted it. So Nifty sent a $31 offer. So 10% off offer to this buyer after they came in and liked the item. So they came in, liked the item, walked away. Nifty 10 minutes later sends that $31 offer. So that started the negotiation process with this buyer, which is a good thing. Now he countered offered at 20. I'm not going to sell this shirt to him for $20. Sorry. But it's got the conversation started. So now I'm going to counter offer this offer. I'm just going to counter my same price, $31 right there. So boom. So now I have a conversation going. I got some offers back and forth. That's a win. And that win came from Nifty starting that offer. Hopefully I land the plane here, but either way, we're getting some activity on that item, which is a good thing. You want activity on your items on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari. That helps them show up better in search results. Activity is a good thing. Offers are a good thing. So we got an active customer. Now it's on the line. We're going to try to reel that person in, and Nifty helped me get that person on the line, so to speak. Send them to me. I just listed an IB Cool shirt. Nothing. The reselling game is all kind of interesting. I hear you. It is interesting. It's very interesting. It's not a perfect science because your customers are humans. And humans can be strange. They behave in peculiar ways sometimes, although sometimes predictable ways, not perfectly predictable. All right, let's just check one last thing. Well, that's it. That's a wrap for today. Everything's shipped out. Appreciate y'all hanging out for a little bit. It made my day a lot more fun. Otherwise, I'd just be in my office talking to myself, shipping out orders. It's a lot more fun when you all pile into my office, ask great questions, share what's going on in your world. So it's a lot of fun. As soon as I end this live, if you're just walking in now, as soon as I end the live, it's going to be available as a replay. So you can rewatch it. You can fast forward. You can rewind. It really got windy out there. I keep thinking I hear like the postal person coming in, but it's just like wind blowing out there. So anyway, I appreciate y'all hanging out. Maybe you watch the replay. Maybe you don't. Either way, I hope you have a great day. We'll do this again live next Monday around 11 a.m.-ish Eastern time. And of course, I'll put out the things that I'm finding and things I'm selling. I'm going to put posts out every single day. I'm going to put reels out every single day. I'm going to drop another YouTube later on this week of a full thrift store experience. I'm editing that right now. So look for all that stuff. But we'll be live again next week, Monday around 11 a.m.-ish Eastern time. If you're on YouTube, this is a reminder too. If you want to get notifications anytime I do go live, go ahead and hit that bell icon and turn it to all notifications on. That way, when I go live, you'll get that notification. you'll know I'm live and you can come join the conversation. So we'll see you next Monday. Have an awesome week. I hope you find some great stuff. Hope you sell some great stuff. And most importantly, I hope you learn some stuff this week. That's the most important metric in this business, is learning every day. See